5, 4. think I think you're muted on stream. I don't know.
Fuck. Once again, hello everyone. My name is Vofel, aka Zaza691, and Zaza, if you want, doesn't matter, whichever you prefer. And I'm a Code Monkey wannabe. Today we will go through the whole process of finding trivial instapasses, including the tools you need. Hopefully I'll try to explain it. Unfortunately I don't really have much time anymore, but I'll try my best, and in the end we'll try to find the brand new instapass for GTA 3 Definitive Edition. And hopefully after this stream we'll have a brand new instapass, and you'll understand that finding instapasses is not hard and anyone can do it. I really want you to listen to what I say if you're interested in, of course, and ask questions if something is not clear. I will repeat, I will try to explain it somehow so you can understand it better. It's really important to me. Alright, without further ado, let's start. Yeah, prepare your noted. So before we start, maybe you're not familiar, what is an instapass? I asked a few members of this community. I'm not going to read all of their definitions. My favorite one is second, of course, but the last one is actually mine. I think that for most of the community, Instapass is a magic trick that allows you to instantly complete a mission, and majority thinks that only code monkeys understand how it works. And unfortunately, this is not true. And hopefully after this stream, we're gonna see why. Okay, moving on. So maybe you thought about looking for instapasses yourself, but you weren't sure if it's for you or not. And here are some of the reasons that could stop you actually. So let's go through them real quick. The first one, all instapasses have probably been found already. While it's true that the first ever instapass was found way before I was born, so late 2014, early 2015 I believe, this is not true. We have Definitive Edition, we have Vice City Stories and Liberty City Stories with multiple versions. We still have San Andreas, it's a big game. OG San Andreas still probably has some instapasses. And if you really like the OG GTA 3 or Vice City, I'm gonna tell you, the last GTA 3 instapass was found in December 2021, so not so far away, it's not so long ago. And I believe there's more. They're not trivial, of course, but there's still something you can find and even use. For example, this instapass was used in one of my IL runs. So not all of the instapasses have been found, and well, a lot of haven't. Next, somebody might know that there is Roots tool. So Roots tool basically automates the process of finding instapasses. It literally brute forces all of the possibilities. It starts every mission with every mission at all of the possible combinations. And yeah, while this is true that this tool can find trivial instapasses, it doesn't work with some games like LCS and VCS, for example, and it cannot find something that is more complex, that requires more setup. We're not going to talk about complex instapasses today, but in order to understand how to look for complex instapasses, we need to know how to look for trivial ones. So it kind of makes sense. And finally, you might think that it is really hard and requires specific knowledge, like from computer science, programming, or whatever. And the answer is, it's not true. By the way, you probably know that I love these weird, funky PowerPoint animations. Cool. Yeah, Vofel explains stuff to chat is a cool emote. I'm not sure if it's added, but hopefully it is. What do we need to look for instapasses? Here's a quite long list, but don't worry, it doesn't have to be that big if you're just starting. First of all, we of course need main.scm, that's the script file that contains the actual script from the game. In OG games you can literally get it from the data folder, I believe. For Definitive Editions it's a little bit more complicated, it's hidden somewhere, but all in all, if you want to get a specific main SCM, just go to the speedrunning Discord server and ask in general. like there's a lot of cool people and they're gonna help you out. This is literally what I did for this definitive edition main.scm. Next, we're gonna need Sani builder to decompile it. Optionally, we're gonna need a proper scm.ini for Sani builder, so it's gonna look a little bit more like the original leaked source code that we have. Once again, optionally, we're gonna need proper custom variables.ini if we're gonna look for instapasses in definitive edition. That files like has names for variables, and in definitive edition they changed a few, like they added a few, they removed a bunch, I think. And yeah, so the default one that comes with Sani builder isn't good for definitive edition. We also need Patrick's local offset adder tool. I have no idea how to code properly, so have a word adder, hope it works. I'm going to explain what is a local offset later. We're also going to need a text editor, something decent like Notepad++, Sublime Text, whatever, just don't use a plain Notepad. And optionally, when you are a little bit more advanced, you are going to use Cheat Engine to speed up your process and Hex Editor. Today, we are not going to talk about them much, but I might use them to speed up the process, basically. And that's it. What you want to ask right now is probably where do we get all of these tools? Well, main SCM, as I already said, just go and ask. Sani builder and stuff like Cheat Engine, Hex Editor, Text Editor, you can just Google them. But I'm gonna show you like another place. Let me go back to here. This is a GTA speedrunning Discord server. We go to General, we open pinned messages, and we scroll it. By the way, here are the files for some of the old versions of D. We scroll until this GTA link collection stuff, and look at this magic. Oh boy, I can zoom. So we basically click that link. It's a Google Doc and it has a lot of cool stuff. By the way, including stuff like link to Cheat Engine, Hex Editor, look at more, Sani builder. But what we really need from here is this local offset adder tool by Patrick. That's the first thing. It's located in Tools, General. And what we also need, these scm.ini files, like here for GTA 3, Vice City, San Andreas. You just look into opcode doc. Here's the scm.ini, custom variables for definitive edition like VC, scm, etc, etc, etc. You can find them easy. So we can get all of this here, and once again that's pinned in general in the Discord channel. Alright, when you downloaded all of these like SCM inis and custom variables ini, where do we put them? For that, we first install Sani builder, of course I already have it installed. Then we basically go to the folder where you installed it. Here's a data folder, so we go there. Then we go to the game we want to look for, like the files we downloaded for, like in our case is GTA 3. And this is basically where you put these files, like here's my custom labels ini, here's my SCM ini, and don't forget to make copies of original files because you might need them in future, who knows. So don't forget to make copies, otherwise you'll have to reinstall the Sani builder tool. Normies don't understand Russian text, sorry, I mean, I ain't Russian, I'm learning, yes. And now, when we put these two files in this directory, we're good to go. We can finally work with our scm.ini and decompile it. So we're gonna launch Sani builder. The first thing you want to do when you launch this program, you want to pay attention to the bottom right corner. It's right here. You have to choose the proper game. A lot of people forget about it. Since we're not working with San Andreas, we simply choose it to GTA 3. Next, right here at the very top we have these tools and then options, or F10 for a shortcut. Yeah, I'm speedrunning this stuff because I really have to go quite early, sorry. So we go to options. Most of the check marks are gonna be ticked by default, but I think I ticked those two, always overwrite input file, because otherwise it's gonna generate you tons of TXT files, so you don't really need them. And I also think I ticked the right opcodes, so our scm.ini is gonna work. The rest should be ticked by default, but you can just copy everything I have here. And now we are ready. We are ready to load our file. Oh no, sorry. There is this cog icon as well at the very top, and we want to tick code offsets. That's very important. So I'm going to tick it right here, and now I'm ready to literally load the game. Okay, that's the wrong folder. GTM. Here, as you can see, right here, we don't really have our script file. That's because at the bottom it first of all looks for txt files. You want to change that. You want to change that to compiled scripts, so the second option, or to all files, the third option. And now we can see our main SCM for 1.0, the latest version for Definitive Edition. Of course, you can always ask for a decompiled version of the same file, but what if in the future they update the game again and you're gonna need another decompiled version? It's basically easier to decompile it yourself. Now we press open and okay, we have a file. We don't actually need Sani Builder anymore. I'm gonna close it right here and I'm gonna go to this folder. It generated a txt file, same name as the script file, but txt. What we do next, we simply take that file and drag and drop on top of the Patrick's tool, like literally drag and drop. It's gonna open the command line, install a miner on your computer, and then it says press enter to exit and mine Bitcoin. So we do that, it like slowly closes down and it generates out.txt. This is the file we will be working with today. Whew, speedrun, the first part is done. Let's open it in Notepad++, and here's how the code looks. Like if we go right here, this is what we saw in Sani Builder. And now we can like look for the scripts, like this is a script for USJs, this is a script for the second Luigi's mission, and yeah, it basically contains script for all of the missions in the game, and other scripts as well. Cool. A miner on your computer, yes. It is not going to overheat your computer, it's going to give you bitcoins, or Patrick, I'm not really sure. Now, when we have the script file, we want to learn how to read it. I'm starting with GTA 3 because it's by far the easiest file to follow, in my opinion, and I also encourage you to start with GTA 3 as well. You can start with stuff like San Andreas, it's gonna be a little bit harder for you, but it's still possible. Just don't start with Vice City Stories, please. First of all, let's just try. I have a few bookmarks here, and the first one is a good chunk of code that we can read. As I said, since we have our custom SCM ini, our commands look exactly like they were looking for developers. And it's really easy to follow. You read it just like a book, line by line. So in the first line, we create a car, like we name it what when FM1 for whatever reason. It's a model ID, and then this is the coordinates were responded with. We don't really care for what these commands really do, for the most of them. But then we set the car heading, the speed, the driving style, we switch the siren, we lock its doors, we create a char inside it. Char is short for character, obviously. So as you can see, it's not really hard to follow. You basically read it line by line, and most of the commands actually do make sense, like by simply looking at them. If you don't understand what a command does, you can also you can always Google or ask on the server. People will help you out. Next. I think this is pretty easy to follow, as I said. But let's see, no, not German. Let's see what else I have. Like, let's go to the next bookmark. This is not the one. And yeah, this is the one. So let's just look in general what we have in the file. First of all, we have these weird numbers, like a lot of them, and then some commands. What are these numbers? The first number is the global offset. This is basically the length from the beginning of the file. So we know that this if command is 533,432 away from the beginning of the file. This value is not really useful for you if you're just starting out. A lot of people say that you don't need local offsets, but they're wrong, because real code monkeys don't like to do, and they say calculate stuff in your head. Imagine calculating stuff, you don't want to think. And the second number is obviously a local offset. This is basically tells that this line is 1251 byte away from the start of this mission. So if I go a little bit higher, we'll see that this mission starts right here, Grand Theft Aero. And this is basically local offset 0, the first command. You can think about it like the amount of characters away from the start of the chapter in a book. Obviously it's not characters, it's byte, but it's bytes, but it's very similar to reading a book actually. So these two numbers are global offset, so from the start of the file, local offset, so from the start of the mission or the script, not exactly mission, can be anything else. Next we have an opcode. This is like a short representation that is actually needed for the computer to understand. We don't care about those. Next, command, and these things are called labels. As you can see, we have love 436 here and there, down there. These things that start on a new line with, I think it's a colon, those are labels. They basically, they are used for these go-to, go-sub commands that we're gonna look at real soon. So let's get back to my bookmark. Start to look for go-to commands. As you can see, we have one right here. Every go-to if false, go-sub command has like a label. And it's literally telling you, yo, when you reach this line, please go to this label. So after this line, we don't read the if command. We go back to this label because it's listed here. You can think about it as, imagine that you're like, you bought a brand new magazine and on the front page, you have that crazy title. English band beat GTA 3 world record by 15 minutes. Wanna find out how? Read the whole article on page 15 and you're like, wow, English band, my favorite streamer. And you basically go to page 15. So you go to label. As you can see, it's very easy. And with labels, you obviously can go back and forth. You don't really have to go always forward. You can go backwards as well. Alright, so go-tos, very easy. You have a go-to, it tells you where to go, and then you continue reading from here. So let's follow. We read an if command, like we check if it's false or not, then we go wait, then we go go-to, and we go back. So we are basically like repeating, executing this code. And this is called a loop. Loops are very important. Basically, all of the scripts are a lot of loops, and loops are what we want for instapasses. But before we dive into that kind of stuff, let's see some other important commands. Another one, as I said, go to if false. So as you can see, as I said, this is a loop. How can we get out of this loop? How can we like continue executing the code from here, for example? We don't want to execute these 5 lines, right? We want to execute the whole script. So it's actually pretty simple. When you see a go to if false, there is always a condition before it. An if condition. It can be a simple one like this one, as you can see it's only one line. It can be a little bit harder like this one, 4 conditions actually. But this one in particular says, is collision in memory 3? So basically, are you in shoreside whale? Because shoreside whale is the 3rd island in the game. And since we have not, it's literally asking, are you not in shoreside whale? If you are, let's say, in Staunton, it basically says, yeah, you are not in shoreside whale, and it returns true. Go to if false, we don't go to if the previous command returns true, so we continue executing here. If we finally go to shoreside whale, the game asks, are you in shoreside? Are you not in shoreside whale? And we are like, no, we are in shoreside whale, so this command returns false. And look, go to if false. So we follow that label and we get out of this loop and continue executing from here. Is nasty game, like go to if false, create object, whatever. So loops are pretty simple. Go-tos and go-to if false are also pretty simple. But there is one more similar command to this, and it's very important as well. Let's check this one out. It's called go-sub. So go-sub is very similar to go-to. You literally take the label and you go to it. As you can see, it's quite far away. It's 13,000 and we're only at 2,000. So let's use the search function, Control F. It fills everything for me, and I'm gonna actually go backwards because it's gonna be faster. And here it is, the labels that we went to. So after we go here, we execute all of the stuff that is literally here until we hit a return. It's gonna be somewhere down there. Yeah, look, return. Returns are basically telling you, yo, go back to where you started from. So go back to where this go sub was. So we are just going to once again look for the label And yeah, after we are done with the whole stuff that was down there, we continue executing from here. As an analogy, you can think that you're reading like an article and it says, yo, you can find more information on that topic on page 57. So you go to page 57, you read that extra bit of information that is optional to read, but you read it anyways because it was interesting for you. And then after you're done, you go back to the article and continue reading it like normally. Pretty simple stuff in my opinion. And before I continue, I want to say that we are gonna check your questions real soon. Well, I'm going to check your questions real soon, so hopefully you have prepared some. We are actually going to look at one more command that is very important. It's called wait. I think I have a better... Yeah, I have a better bookmark. Wait is literally doing what it says. When you hit a wait command, it waits the amount of time you specify. So in this example, this is the start of the race, and as you know, when you start a race, it usually shows you a countdown, so it shows you 3, 2, 1, go. And every label, every like print that you see on the screen stays for exactly 1 second, 1000 milliseconds. So when you hit wait, this script basically says, okay, I'm done, I'm gonna continue executing from like in 1 second or in whatever amount of time that is specified here. What are the other tabs? Later. They're not relevant. And these like waits 1000 or like 500, they make sense, but what some people might wonder, what are these like wait zeros? You probably noticed them. Let me find... Yeah, this one is gonna work. So these wait zeros, what's the point in waiting 0 milliseconds, because it's basically nothing? Is it like really not waiting at all? Well, as I said, the game has a lot of scripts, and at the same time there are multiple scripts running, like your current mission, a script that checks how many USJs you completed, how many packages you collected. Those are all like various scripts. And in order to tell the current script that we are done here, yo, go process the second script and then the third one, we need to wait at least like 1 frame. 0 milliseconds means 1 frame. So when we hit wait 0, it says, okay, I'm done, go to the next script and come back to me on the next frame. So it goes, like the game goes to the next script, processes it until it hits wait there, and continues like the whole chain until it basically hits the last active script, and then it starts from the beginning. So these waits 0 are very important. If you are gonna like remove it, if you remove this line, your game will basically freeze because it's never gonna get out of this loop. And apart from scripts, the game obviously has to process other stuff like traffic, time, weather, like the whole game basically. Reminder, this is like a 2001 game, even though we are talking about Definitive Edition, but still the old principles apply, and back then multi-threading was not really an option, especially on stuff like PS2. So yeah, wait zeros are very important. And when does the carjacking shooting start? Not soon. And why are they important, you might say? The next question you might want to ask, like, how does the game realize that after it forgets about the script and then comes back to it? Like, how does it know that we need to continue from there and not from like the beginning or from wherever else? Well, it's actually very simple. Each script that is active, it basically remembers the local offset of the next command. So when you go back to this script, it's gonna continue executing from, in our case, 1270. If you look at the other wait, it's gonna continue at 1365, etc. So it literally remembers the local offset of the next command. So when we go back, we continue from 1365, no matter what we are executing. And the final part before questions. How is 0 milliseconds 1 frame? Well, it's literally like the least amount of time you can wait while still waiting for like other stuff to be processed. So it's literally 1 frame. It's a shortcut. As you know, like old games runs 30 seconds per frame. You can literally count how long is 1 frame, and everything that is shorter than that is gonna be 1 frame. So if it's gonna be 5 milliseconds on 30 FPS, it's still gonna be 1 frame. Okay, final part, that is literally the most important one. How missions work. As you know, games have like tons of missions, and there is no point in loading all of them at once. For example, when you just started the game, you don't really care about the last mission in the game. You don't have to waste all of that memory, and yeah, you basically load only the current active mission. So when you start a mission, it gets loaded into a specific place in memory, and this place is like the same for all of the missions. Think of it like you're sitting at the table and someone literally like puts a sheet of paper in front of you, like with some script you need to read, and then you start reading that, like normally, as I explained earlier. We hit the wait command and we go to some other sheets of paper that are like all over our table. And well, let's imagine that we are reading something in real life, but we don't pay attention. Not sure about you, but I quite usually find myself in a situation when I read something, but I can't concentrate on what I'm reading, and I literally don't get the context whatsoever. So I'm reading like a robot. I'm still reading stuff, but I don't remember anything I just read. When we hit wait, let's say we blink. Like we literally close our eyes, then we open them and continue reading from the point where we stopped. And now imagine that while we are blinking, someone bad or good literally steals our sheet of paper that we were reading before and puts another one. And when we open our eyes, we continue reading from that exact point, and since we don't really care about the context, we are like robots, we simply try to continue reading from that point. It has a completely different text. We can start reading from a completely different sentence, or a new word, or even from the middle of the word. And it doesn't have to make any sense. In fact, when it doesn't make sense, like you start reading from the middle of the word, let's say there was a word collision, and you start reading it like Asian, and you're like, what is Asian? I don't understand that word, and you crash. And this is what happens when you do missions. When you start the second mission, the first script confirmation if I'm actually back. Hello? God. Okay. Am I back? Am I back? Am I back? Tell me if I'm back. You're back. Cool. Whew. I don't know what that was. So, as I said, when you start a new mission, the script, the old one, gets replaced with a new one, and we continue reading from the same place we were reading before. If we happen to be lucky, we will start reading a new word. It might be collision. It doesn't matter that we were reading about kittens before. We don't care about context. In these cases, the game doesn't crash. And well, if we happen to be unlucky and we read from the middle of the word, the game will most likely crash. And that's everything I wanted to quickly explain to you before I first ask for questions. So please, yeah, talking about crashes, stream crashes, if you have any questions or if I missed some, can you please repeat them? I asked Gail to help me out with that, so hopefully we're gonna see some questions. That's gonna be a short break. The streamer crashed, yes. So speaking about my other tabs, for example, these SAD compiled planes and Copcar are gonna be for my next YouTube video. What type of coding is this? This is like Rockstar syntax. I think they invented it for their game and they have their own compiler they wrote themselves. So it's not really a real programming language or whatever. Am I Russian? Yes, I am. By the way, when I said ask questions, I meant related to the topic, not about me or my tabs or whatever. Any other questions? Like, at this point, is it understandable? Like, is there anything unclear? Should I repeat something? Because if you don't understand what I said before, you will have some trouble understanding what we're gonna do next. I mean, if you look at the source code that was leaked, it's quite similar. I mean, of course it's not one-to-one replica, but it's very similar. Didn't you can make your own language? Of course you can. How was the first programming language invented then? This is mostly a tutorial, but we are hopefully going to play. So does this mean you have to be very precise with loading B over A in terms of frames? It's not frames, it's about the local offsets. What you want, ideally what you want is that mission B should have something at the same offset that was going to be executed after wait in mission A, so precisely at 1270. In some cases it can work if it's gonna be like 1268, but if you want to be like 95% sure it's not gonna crash, it has to match perfectly. I like the blinking and changing the page metaphor. I mean, I tried to come up with real-life analogies so you can understand the stuff I'm talking about more easier, and I hopefully made it pretty clear. Script stops at waits only. Yes, that's correct. So like it executes until it hits a wait and then goes to the next script. What's the 1270 refer to? 1270 is a local offset, so amount of bytes from the start of the mission. So it basically says that this line of code is 1270 bytes away from the start of the mission. And this is used for the script to basically like know at which position it was before it went for a sleep during wait command. So when it wakes up, it literally continues from the same offset. So that's just a number. As I said, you can think about it as a number of characters if we are talking about a book from the start of the chapter or something. How do we know when the game not gonna crash when mission A is a certain part and we start another mission? Well, short answer, you don't. You basically go and test it in game. Long answer, there are some markers that you can use to tell if it's gonna crash. I'm gonna use them, but I'm probably not going to explain all of them today because it's more than trivial and we don't have time for that. Maybe some other time. Who knows? Alright, if you have like more questions, feel free to ask them, but I'm gonna to continue. What do we want with instapasses? We basically want to execute the code that passes the mission. How does it look? Well, there is a specific command for that. It's called player made progress. I'm gonna type it fully. I'm just gonna look at here. Player made progress 1. This is the command we want to execute to pass the mission, and it's gonna give you the percentage. So it's valid for 100 runs. For all missions, you also want, let me find it, I think register mission past love 4. This is the command that basically changes your save file name when you save your game. So when you complete the Force Donald Loves mission, it's gonna change it to Grand Theft Era, I think, when you are saving and loading the save file again. So for all missions, you have to execute this one and this one, like this and this. For Honda, you want to execute only this one. You don't really care about that one. And the whole block that we are interested in is literally from this return, because as I said, return is gonna send our execution somewhere back. It's not gonna continue executing here. So from this place to literally the command that gives us percentage if we're looking for Instapass for Honda, or till this one if we're looking for Instapass that is gonna be good for all missions. But obviously we're going to look for Honda ones because, as you can see, it's a larger range. So it literally goes from hold on, wrong button. So from 9076 to 1250. It's not a hold on, 9254. Why did I say 12? It's not like a real big range. It's only a little bit shorter than 200. Some of the missions have bigger ranges, some of the missions have shorter ranges, but it's decent. So if we find a mission that has a weight somewhere in this range, preferably with exact values like these ones, then we're gonna find an instapass for the mission, most likely. There are still cases when it's not gonna work, like you can soft lock, etc, etc, etc. But like in general, what we are interested in is a wait command anywhere between 9076 and 9254. And even if it's gonna be like in the middle of the command, we still want to try it out, because who knows, maybe it is going to work. We don't know until we try. Okay, now how do we look for these weights? First of all, let me open the goddamn poll, because I want to see. Okay, 42, nice, we got some answers. I already probably can guess what is the most popular one. Let's create a new table so I can sort. I think it's the only way to sort. Oh, this shit looks awful. Is there even? No, there's not. Useless. Useless shit. Okay, we're gonna look at it like that. Yeah, of course, paramedic. So, why did I put you wish in paramedic? Well, for GTA 3, it's almost impossible to find paramedic instapass because you need 3 separate instapasses. I think one instapass was already found, but hopes are not high for the other two. Well, I promised to work with this, so let's start with paramedic as promised. Let's go and find it. I think the script name for that is ambulan. And let's like search for it. Yeah, here it is, originally paramedic. As I said, we want to look at player-made progress. So here's the first one. And why is it hard to find an instapass for paramedic? See, this local offset is quite big, it's more than 10,000. In this game, everything that is more 10,000 or even like, let's say, 5,000 is already big enough, and the bigger offset is, the less chances you have to find an instapass, because a lot of missions are literally way shorter than 5,000 bytes, and this requires 11,000, and this is only the first one. Not sure which one is that, but there is more, like this one and that one, and there, as you can see, even further away. And as you can also see, like, remember we had a good range of values we could use for that Donald Loves mission? Here we have only one value that can work. Anything else will definitely not work, apart from some slim chance of something that is earlier than return. But let's not go into that for now. It goes out of scope of trivial stuff, so we are gonna think that this is the only value we can work with. And let's try to find an instapass for this particular player-made progress. How do we do that? As I said, we want to find a wait command at this spot. Well, technically at that is right before that. And what we can do, we know that weights, let me find any weight there, right here. We know that weight is 001. We can use like literally the basic find what stuff. So we want it to be 12,335. Oh, I said 35. 135 because, as you can see, weights are 4 bytes long. We go from 40 to 44. Weight zeros are. Weight something else, like any other number, is gonna be 5 bytes long, but it's okay. So we want to find the weight at this offset. Let's count how many matches there are. Hooray, there are 0 matches. Let's go, there are no trivial instapasses for paramedic. Let's look at an actual mission and not this joke. Okay, what else? What else we have? Like 17, I see? Alright, 17, what is that? Vigilante. Oh, Vigilante is also not a very good option. I think it needs 3 different instapasses. But okay, Vigilante script is called Cop Care. And it's right here, Vigilante. Let's see how many player-made progress commands are there. So there's one at 5,524. This is like doable. And as you can see, we have some stuff before it, so there is a chance we can jump there. Although not so much because there is a condition. What else? Another one. And yeah, there's a third one. So we basically have 3 different instapasses for each island, so this is not a very good example either. Only 5 bytes long if the number for the byte can be held in a byte. for the weight. Well, yeah, true, but I don't think there are any short weights in this game. Oh, by the way, everything I say, it kind of works in other games as well, but there are some changes, so it might not be like the exact same, but it is very similar. But anyway, let's see. So for this player made progress, we want like something 5524. We can also go to this command, so 5507, and technically there is a chance we can go even to this one, if the last condition was not false. So our range is 5500 to 5524. How do we like search for ranges? And that is why I said you use a decent text editor that allows you to use regular expressions. So what is a regular expression? It's like fancy way to parse your string. A lot of people love it because it allows you to do a lot of cool stuff. A lot of people hate it because most of the time when people use regex, you don't really need to use it, and it's very hard to read someone else's regex. But we're gonna use a very simple regular expression. So how does it work? As I said, we want like a wait command, so let's go to our previous example, but the offset is now from 5500 and two last digits are different. So we literally say the first two digits we want have to be 54, if I said 55. The next one, we don't really care, it can be like any digit from 0 to 9. So we're gonna use a special character, it's called \d, D for digit, and it literally represents any digit. And we're gonna put another one. So we want, let me zoom once again, well, right here, bam. So what we want here, like 55 because like as you can see here everything is starts with 55. Then digits can be like any digits. Well, actually this third one is only from, no, any digit, because yeah, no, from 0 to 2, because it's like 0, 10, 20. We can actually make this a little bit shorter, but the last digit can be like any digit from 0 to 9, because we can hope that 5500 works, we can hope that 5509 works, for example. Any digit is possible. So what we can do to limit this third digit, actually, to say it's gonna be from 0 to 2, instead of \d that we have here, we are gonna use a different thing. It is square brackets, and in square brackets you basically say which digits you want to see, or which characters. It's not only about digits, you can like use any characters. So now it looks like that. 55, the next tells us the third digit is gonna be either 0 or 1 or 2, and the last one is gonna be any digit, \d. The rest is still the stuff that we see after the wait. Like, well, we don't have any weight on the screen here. I mean, technically, of course, it starts, as I said, 4 bytes earlier, so 5496, and stops actually at, yeah, at 20, but it doesn't really matter. We can look for 5496 separately. How do you count the weight offset again? Okay, we want a weight offset to be somewhere in this range, like these are our borders. The upper bound is basically player made progress. The lower bound is something that is that can potentially send our execution to another place. So in this example, this is an if condition, because, well, it literally says, like, looks if we killed 10 criminals, I think. And if we did it, like, gives us a percentage. Oh, I believe that, yeah, cop car actually has 6 instapasses, not 3. Well, needs 6 instapasses, not 3, sorry. Yeah, and you also subtract 4 or 5 from both of the bounds, because weight is 4 or 5 bytes long. So that's how you look for them. So in our case, we can count how many are there. Oh, cool, 3 matches. There are potential instapasses for Vigilante, at least for one of the 6 we need. So what I do next, usually, I press right mouse button, and here I clone to other view. So it basically clones the same thing. And I can use my search here. I can say literally, you know, go next. And I can see the weight. Oh, that's a perfect example. As you can see, this is not what we want. This weight command is at 15,000, but we want them to be at 5,000. We found it because, well, it has this 5505, so everything we put here, it has it. But if we want to get rid of these high offset weights, we simply add a space in the beginning, because we know that if the offset is only 4 digits long, there's going to be a space always before it. So now if we count, there's only one match, and it's intro. Intro is not usable at all, so unlucky. Vigilante Instapass trivial also failed. Can you do the reverse? Look for Instapass based on the weight offset of a mission. Well, technically you can, of course, but it is a little bit harder in a way, because you have like tons of different weights. Like each mission has at least like 20 weights, I'd say. Well, apart from like the shortest ones. And yeah, none of them are like, not all of them are useful, but well, some of them are, so it's not really that efficient the other way around, I think. Just go to zero. Go to zero, by the way, crashes in GTA 3. Alright, so cop car is also dead. What's next? I see 16 is taxi driver. Do we have anything else? No. Well, I'm gonna look for taxi driver because I know it's a mission that has only one player-made progress command. Let me find it. I don't remember how it's called, so let's just look for the mission name. Taxi driver. And here it is. Oh, it's literally called taxi. But I'm not gonna look for firefighter because it also, I think, requires... Oh, maybe it doesn't require multiple instapasses, I don't know. So here it is. Taxi driver. Let's see what is our range here. So by the way, as I said, upper bound is this number, -4, and the lower bound, let's see where we have a condition somewhere that is gonna like jump away. Like look, here is go to if false, so if we somehow execute this line and the previous condition is gonna be false, and as you can see it looks for 100 failures, so obviously it's gonna be false. If we didn't complete taxi driver yet, so it's gonna jump over. And yeah, our range is once again quite short. So it's, in this case, once again, let's do it together. We start with a space. The first digit is always 6. The second digit is always 2. The next one is from 6 to 9, I believe. So we can literally say 6, 7, 8, 9. And the last one can be any digit. So this is our range for this. Yeah, firefighter requires 1, okay. Doing that way is actually easier. Not sure. Okay, only 2 matches, so once again, not so many. Usually you want to have at least 10. Because, yeah, there are a lot of memes that can screw you over. Let's see what are these. First of all, this is Asuka's first mission from the second half. Is this bait? I'm not sure, might be bait. Now when you find like a command, first of all, let's check 6296. So we're gonna jump, well, not jump, we're gonna continue executing from 6296, which is just 2 bytes away from player-made progress. So this is very good in a way. It would be better if it was 98, of course, but 96 also has a high chance of working, because it's only 2 bytes away from a real command. But let's see if we can use this weight. So when you find a weight that you can, like, that potentially looks good, you want to see what loop is that. And for that we can literally check. Here's our loop, and it checks if char is in car. So this loop waits for some cartel guy to get in a cartel car. Well, I mean, in theory it is usable, because yeah, you can find the moment to start taxi drive while someone is getting into a car, but I'm not sure which one is that. It really it really depends on who it is, and yeah, this is where you try to read as much as you can before that place to understand where it is. Oh, I think I know what it is. So since this is bait, I'll remind you the mission. You basically have to lure some cartel guys to the compound where Yakuzas are waiting, and I think this is when it's like one of the three cars, I'm not sure which one yet, the first one probably, or maybe not sure. Like it waits for someone to get out of the car, so yeah, in theory this might be good for taxi driver. I'm gonna quickly check in hex editor if this thing is gonna crash or jump over it. Once again, when you find something that looks good and you confirm that you can probably use this wait command, if you're just starting out, go and check it in game. Like, yeah, just go and check. If you're a little bit more experienced, you can use stuff like hex editor. So let me quickly do that. I use hexadd.it. I'm not gonna explain much. I literally drag and drop the script file, and we know that we are going to start executing from there. Oh wait, no, hold on, I'm dumb. We're going to start executing from 6300. Of course, we are not from the wait command, but from the next one. Yeah, my bad. My bad. So this is like 2 bytes actually over what we needed. I just noticed it. Sorry, it's almost 3 AM here and my brain is melted. So yeah, this is not usable. We are gonna start executing from something that is after the command that gives percentage, so it's useless. Next one, we had 2 I think, and the second one is in intro, so no trivial instapasses for taxi driver. No trivial instapasses doesn't mean there are any other instapasses for these missions. There might be, so don't lose all of your hope, but today we are gonna give up on taxi driver. Which car it is? Yeah, like in order to actually understand it, you need to read more, and we're not gonna waste time on that since we know it's actually not gonna work, because yeah, it jumps a little bit over and I didn't notice it in time, sorry. So next is 14 I see. Yeah, 14 is firefighter. Let's see if we can find something for firefighter. Let's close the second window. I think well, let's literally look for firefighter. Originally firefighter and player made progress. Here it is. Oh, the offset is also quite nice. It's not big. Like, it's easier to find an instapass for a short mission, or rather for a mission that has a player made progress somewhere at low local offset, because there are more missions with wait commands at these local offsets. Yeah, Powdernet tells you how you find that out, so you basically have to read a little bit more about that particular car. We are gonna do that if we find something that is actually usable. So let's see what we have here. Like, this command is okay, this one is okay, and here it is. We have these 3 conditions, and they're basically checking if we extinguished 20 fires on each island. So yeah, this is gonna be false if we start executing from here. So our range is once again quite short. It's this small, but let's try. Maybe you can find something. So the first is always 3, the next one is always 9, the next one is gonna be either 0, 1, 2, or no, 1 or 2, because you can see 31 minus 4 is 27, so 2 is the last one here, and the last digit can be any of these. How many matches? Only 4. Once again, not so many. Regular missions usually have bigger ranges, so more chances to find actually stuff. You need to know coding basis. Well, I tried to come up with analogies that will prove you wrong, but if you say so, ask questions. I will be happy to repeat something. Okay, what is this? 3926. 3926 has a low chance of working, but still in the range, so let's see if it is a usable wait command. So the loop here is, let's see how big it is. It's not so big. The condition to get out of the loop is not char objective past Tony. So here in this Force Joey's missions, I think it's Cipriani's chauffeur or whatever, we have Tony and he has an objective to go to on foot. I believe this is when he goes to the store. Probably. To one of these coordinates, yeah, like these are the coordinates of the laundry, pretty sure. So technically, yeah, we can use that wait command because we can start firefighter during that cutscene, I believe. Or wait, can we? No, we cannot because we cannot hold the firefighter in this game and we have to be in the Leone Sentinel, so I don't think this is usable either, unfortunately. Yeah, you cannot start firefighter unless you somehow regain controls in the cutscene. And yeah, this is like where the hardest part comes into play. You want to really come up with a way of using the wait. So in this case, this is a cutscene, we know it, and we know that we have to start this cutscene in the Leone Sentinel. So the next question you ask, can you somehow regain controls, get into the fire truck, and start firefighter? At this point of time, I don't know about any ways of doing that, so I'm gonna say it's impossible for now, but maybe it is possible. And there is no known way, yeah, as you can see, so for us it's not usable either. So next, Frank 4. It might actually have bad stack, let me check. But it's gonna jump to 1320, oh 3920. It's potentially good, but as you can see, CS time. So CS time is literally the intro cutscene most of the time. And yeah, you cannot use intro cutscenes, because even if you use them, in the OG game for example, you're gonna be stuck, because the cutscene takes away controls from Claude, and when you kill the mission by duping it with something, you cannot move afterwards. So yeah, if you see cutscene time, most likely it is not usable either. So what was the other one? Kenji 4. Kenji 4 is definitely a bad one because it has bad stack, but as you can see, it's gonna start from 3930 and our player made progress command is at 3931. Each opcode is at least 2 bytes long, so it's gonna jump over this one. Not usable, unfortunately. Yeah, you always say yet, because sometimes someone can literally find a way for doing something that was thought to be impossible. Do we have any other ones? Yardy 2. Yardy 2 is the second mission from the payphone in Staunton, and unfortunately this loop waits for the audio to be finished. Why do I say unfortunately? Because most of the time it is also not usable. Which one is that? Let's see what happens before it. Set character objective leave car. Oh, so I think this is when we actually finish the mission, so final marker. It takes away controls from us. It starts like mini cutscene, more like a white screen, where the guys say, yo, you did great, and they literally leave your car. And since I think we have to be in the perennial all the time, there is once again no way for us of starting firefighter during that particular bit, so it is also unfortunately unusable. Yeah, Uzi Rider, real shooter, exactly. And I think that was the last one, we had 4, yeah, so firefighter is Kilo for trivial ones as well. Dang it, let's look for some real missions. 14. Can somebody tell how much time has passed? So 13 is E2G, what's that? A drop in the ocean. Yeah, E2G and then drop in the ocean. By the way, if we don't find something, like anything at all, I have a backup Instapass that I found, and luckily no motherfroggers found it like too, because some people starting looking for Instapasses like literally a week ago, and I believe they did that so I cannot find anything myself. So they claimed all the easy Instapasses. 58 minutes, okay, so we are doing rather well. E2G or Adito, let's see. Well, let's start with Adito. since it's earlier. A drop in the ocean. And I'm gonna look in the first one. Let's see how long this one is. Player made progress once again. 43:12, so it's not terribly long. And let's see how big we're talking. Big of a range. So this one is okay. It's like mission passed tune, register mission passed, clear wounded level, add money, print that we passed a mission, start new script. I wonder which one is that, but oh, it's for Ray. Okay, I see. Go to false. So technically we can start from somewhere over here. We don't want to delete any objects because since we don't create them, then deleting something that doesn't exist most likely will crash our game. So I'm gonna say that the range for this is quite big. I might be wrong, it might be way shorter, but I'd say it's something like that for now. The point of this tour was you wanted people looking for instant passes, and now you're complaining there are people looking for them. Yeah, I meant after I showcase stuff. No, I'm not complaining, I'm just joking. But yeah, it was just a little bit funny that nobody cared for such a long time since D came out. Well, kind of nobody cared. And now, like literally 1 week earlier, people starting pumping these instapasses one after another. Alright, let's continue. So for this one, the first digit is always 4. The next one is, well, we have another range, so let's make another range. 1, 2, 3. The third digit is gonna be any, and the last one is gonna be any as well. This time I have to find a lot of them. Yeah, 37. Yeah, now we're talking. Now we're finally talking, and we have a lot of potential good stuff. It checks if the object exists before deleting it. Oh yeah, it's actually even bigger. That's right. Yeah. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Look at this. This is a huge one. It starts from here probably. Oh boy. Well, unless we just jump to delete object right away, but it's okay. Let's make it even bigger, so we also add 0. And now we have 51. Holy frog. Let's start from the start of the script. We're gonna skip intro because intro is not usable. This is off-road mission, probably not usable either. And it has like a lot of them. This is multi-story mayhem, so not usable either because you cannot get out of the car without failing the mission. Meet 1. Meet 1 is probably not usable either because it has wrong stack, but let's just check where it jumps. 4298. 4298. Ooh, it would be actually really good for even for all missions. As you can see, it's here and here, so we're gonna continue executing from 4298. But is this usable? If flag car crashed meet 1, so this is somewhere when we try to destroy our car from the mission with the car crasher, and I think this can actually be used in OG game, or maybe even, no, I think only in OG game. The reason for that is because in OG game you could use replays to stop the crane from literally lifting your vehicle. In this game I'm pretty sure you cannot put the car to the correct place and, well, wait and make the crane stop, and as I said, it has the wrong stack. I guess this is the perfect time for explaining stacks. I'm not gonna like go in much detail, but one thing you can check before actually looking for stuff in game, if you don't have like a save file that has these 2 missions unlocked, if missions have the same stack. For that you go to the start of the mission, so local offset 0. Let me find it. Here it is, and for the other mission as well. And look, let's compare these two. Like this one starts with go sub, this one starts with script name, and only then it does the go sub. These 2 missions have different stacks because they start differently. Well, it's a bad explanation, but for beginners it's good enough. If these missions have different stacks, then Instapass can work, but when you finish the mission, either you pass it or fail it, the game will simply crash most of the time. Pretty sure always in OG, and I believe, I guess, most of the time in this one as well. So there are ways to fix the stack, so not all hope lost if you find an Instapass with two incompatible missions, let's say. But in this scenario, it goes out of scope of trivial Instapasses as well, so yeah, I'm gonna say this is not usable, unfortunately. Let's go back to the actual place where the mission passed was, and let's check other 50 weight commands that we have. So mid 2, same story, Luigi, same story, Luigi 3, and if you're wondering how I know this stuff, well, that's because I have some experience. I remember which missions have which stacks, well, most of them at least. Joey mission has the same stack, pretty sure. You'd have to stop the crane, yeah. Unfortunately. Unfortunately, you'll have. Okay, so what is this? 42-13. Is this any good for us? 30. Oh, well, it can work. It's somewhere in the middle between these two. Technically can work. Let's see if we can use it. Is car health greater? Chunky scar 2, 300. Oh boy, so I believe this is when Chunky Chonk gets in the second car. I have no idea which one is the second one. We have to check it. And if it has more than 300 HP, it's gonna be in this loop, right? Yeah. So this is a usable weight. This is definitely something you could use, but unfortunately, as we know, second Joey's mission and third Donald Love mission are way too far away from each other. The one is in Portland and the other one is in Staunton, and you, as of now, cannot have both of them available, so we cannot use the Joey's mission either. Same with Joey's 4 and Joey's 6 and the third Tony's mission. This is all Portland, we cannot use Portland missions, so let's just skip. Asuka 3. Pretty sure Donald Love unlocks after the third Asuka's mission, because this is Paparazzi's Purge, and only after that you unlock Payday for Ray, that unlocks Ray, and you unlock Donald after Ray, so this is not usable either. Yeah, looking for Instapasses is a little bit tedious, but I mean, it's not hard, at least for these trivial ones. Kenji 3, wrong stack again, but let's see. Char objective passed. Columbian again. I don't know, man. Doesn't look any good. Where will we jump? 42, 35. 35. Yeah, big chance of crashing because in between of the commands, so let's say this one is a kilo as well, because wrong stack. Same Kenji 4. Ray 4. Time Ray. This is the mission where you need to chase the guy in the boat. And this is the place where he throws the goddamn grenade and the fish, like plastic, like catches fish using grenades. And this is also sort of a cutscene in the game, so we cannot use this either. Kenji is disabled before Edita anyway. Yeah, might be true. Yeah, that's actually true. Ray 4, once again the same place, the same place. Love 2. Well, this is the previous Donut Love missions, and sometimes you can complete a mission and still have an instance running, so let's look into this one. And this is 40-30. 40-30. Ooh, too early. We are gonna hit return. Unfortunately, this is too early. Next one, Yardy 2. Once again, mission audio loaded. When you have mission audio loaded, this is a no-go right away, because on PC it literally loads immediately. I don't think there is a way for somehow making it load slower. So unfortunately cannot use this one. Same with this one, mission audio loaded. Yardy 2. Char is in car. This one, however, is usable in a way that, yeah, we can wait for Char to get out of the car, but remember, this is a cutscene where they get out and you don't have control, so cannot start Donald Love's mission. Claim the game from the DVD. No, it still loads pretty quickly. I looked at the code and I think it loads almost immediately, unless you like scratch a disk maybe. Same for the second guy, Char and Car. Not current weapons, so okay, so I guess they changed weapons as well, and this is also happening almost immediately, and this is still a part of a cutscene, I guess? Or is it a part of you failing the mission? But in any case, this is most likely unusable anyway, because, yeah, changing the weapon also happens really quickly. For a player at least. What is this? Forced Donald Love mission. Well, of course we cannot use Forced Donald Love mission for the mission that is before it. So I guess everything that is after is not gonna be usable either. So Catalina's first. So yeah, and we reach the end. So no easy Instapass for Edito, unfortunately. The next one was what? Espresso to go. Oh, I don't have high hopes for Espresso to go, I'm gonna be honest. I said Espresso. Yeah, Espresso to go, let's see how big this one is, and I'm pretty sure it's quite big, yeah, 74. And the range is also very small. So let's see, the first digit is 7. The second one is either 3 or 4. The last two can be any. How many? Well, 24, not so bad. But still. Boom, let's clone. And let's start from the beginning again. Bam, intro, we skip intro, we skip 8 because this is like actually the first mission, I believe. Luigi, Joey, this is all Portland, 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 still Portland. Anything here? Raid 2, too early. Raid 6, okay, mission audio loaded, unfortunate. Cutscene time, also unfortunate. We cannot really use cutscene times unless we find a way to softlock cutscenes. And we have a way to softlock cutscenes in LCS, for example, so yeah, LCS has more options. Yeah, true. Okay, next. Yeah, Love 2 wouldn't work because you couldn't start Love 3 without passing Love 2. Well, no, it was before a return. We would hit return, I'm pretty sure. Well, I didn't really pay attention, but I'm pretty sure. First Asuka's mission, which is once again bait for the second one. And it's 74-24, so we're gonna jump, well, too far away, unfortunately. Next, Catalina's mission obviously is unlocked later, so unlucky. What else do we have? 13. Okay, 12. SAM. 12 SAM. I think I'm gonna do these 12, and then I'm gonna just go to shorter missions because, well, they have more chances of finding something. Oh, jumps past the return? Alright. Didn't pay attention, sorry. So, SAM, another long mission. Let's see if we can find a skip for SAM. Once again, let's see how big it is. Oh, it's yikes, it's even bigger than the previous one. But yeah, let's not give up yet. And also, like, late game, you don't really have that many missions available, apart from fall missions. Second digit is either 2 or 3, and the last two can be any. Only 13 matches. Pretty sure most of them are in Portland. But let's check. Maybe SAM. Intro 8, Tony, Frank, which is Salvatore in Portland. Raid 2 is too early. Catalina 1. Well, unlucky. We didn't find anything for SAM. And it was that quick. So the bigger mission is, the less hope you actually have for trivial instapasses at least. What's next? We had 12, so I see 9. Evidence Dash. Evidence Dash actually has a chance, so I'm gonna look into Evidence Dash, I think. And what's that? Gripped. Isn't there Instapass for gripped? The one from the OG? Yeah, I'm pretty sure there is, so I'm not gonna look for gripped. I think there is an Instapass for gripped already, so what's the point? I don't want to spell it fully, because it's literally easy search. Player made progress, let's see. Smackdown gripped, yeah, there is an Instapass. Yeah, this is a little bit shorter, and we have a better chance. The range unfortunately isn't that big, but anyway, first digit 4, second digit only 6. I hope you all understand like how I look for these numbers, because I explained multiple times, but once again, just in case. The upper bound is player made progress, the lower bound is something like a return or an if statement most of the time, like go to is if false. So yeah, in our case it's a return, and then -4. And the last two can be any. 18 matches. Not so many, but let's see. Maybe. I do. Cool. Cool. That's great. That's great. I forgot a space, so let's put it here. No name is, well, not what we want. Intro, mayhem, ambulance. You cannot really get out of ambulance, I believe, without failing the mission. Joey 1 is too early for race 3. Kenji 3, I think it's too early as well, because I believe it starts Donald Love. Well, it's too late. Well, no, it's actually not too early, but it has a different stack. 50. Yeah, 50 actually had a chance of working, but different stacks need a stack fix, unfortunately, and this is flag go for player KM3. I have no clue what is this. This looks like something a cutscene, because yeah, switch widescreen, restore camera, so this is something right after a cutscene, I believe. So it's probably not gonna be that usable either. Yeah, create pickup briefcase. Maybe it is usable, I'm not sure. But it has a timer of 2 seconds, so yeah, most likely it isn't usable. Anyway, Kenji 5. Kenji 5 is actually a different stack, but it's too early. 4632. It's gonna jump somewhere here, and unfortunately it's most likely going to hit either return or crash. There is a small chance it actually goes over return and we get here, but what is number of pets? I guess number of pets alive. So this is the main loop for this mission, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, looks like the main loop that literally waits until all of the spank men are off the streets. So this is a good loop because it's easy to use, but well, chances for this to work are very low. And if you're just starting, I encourage you to actually check it in game. I'm gonna check it in hex editor real quick. So let me see. 32 is gonna be this global offset plus 4, because as I said 32. Let me quickly go to, and not 89, so 93. And this is how it looks for the game. It's scary. Fake opcode, 00 fake. This is a real one, I'm pretty sure. 0413. So if you're not sure what is 0413 is, for example, we go back to Sani Builder. We go back to that file that we created, scm.ini, and we open it and we literally look for 0413 or whatever it was. And it says set get out of jail free, so yeah, it's not going to crash, I think. It's gonna take 2 parameters, so this is the first one, this is the second one, 0104. What is 0104? 0104 I think crashes. Yeah, it's locate char, and if you try to locate a non-existing character, the game crashes. So yeah, this is most likely going to crash if I didn't miss anything. And I obviously could, but I think it was donezo for us. Ray 4 was obviously after Ray 3. Yardy 2, once again. Charin car, not really useful. Not really useful for us. Right after we pass the mission as well. And we are back to intro. Which mission with which party? Is there another way to instapass arm shortage instead of with vigilante? There is one with Z, but it doesn't work because field doesn't spawn. You can try that one. Well, I'm going off your votes, honestly. So that was, what, 9 for evidence dash? Unfortunately didn't work. Evidence dash probably has a better, like, non-trivial instapass possible when it checks for a dead car, and if the car doesn't exist then it passes. But we're not gonna look for that. Gripped already has an instapass, so let's skip it. Another 8 is Love Disappearance. Okay, Love Disappearance doesn't need an instapass. And here we have a lot of Scam as a very big mission. Bomb the base act 1, haha, another cool joke. What else do we have? A 7 escort service and decoy. Yeah, we can go a bit over, just tell me how much. I think I'm gonna go, like, max I can go with 4 AM my time. And please, like, spam when it's gonna be 15 minutes before that so I can check the instapass that I found before. Payday for Ray, Grand Theft Auto. Well, you know, the Vive, yeah, these are like a lot of different missions. Let's look for a rig to blow instapass. I think it can be a short mission. Or actually, maybe Rumble is even better. Yeah, let's look for Rumble. I want something that is short, because it has more chances. Originally, Rumble. Player made progress. Where? Oops. Oh, well, actually not that. Oops. Not find. Just find. Not that short, as I believed. Ooh, 51. And we don't really have that much to work with. Well, bad example, but we'll check it just in case. So the first digit is 5. The second one is either 0 or 1. And the last two can be any. 17 matches, real quick. Moon clone. What is that intro? Intro, cop car, Luigi. Well, Luigi's too early, obviously. Joey. Asuka 3, Ray 2, Ray 4. Always wrong stacks. Love 4. Intro. Okay, unfortunately. Yeah, man, I have to wake up earlier tomorrow as well, as usual. Did not see that coming. Oh, a lot of good ones. Yeah, I wanted to look for these ones because they're quite long, as in you have to wait like 2 minutes until they finish, but they are also quite short, code-wise, I think. So yeah, let's go Diablo Destruction. These have a good chances of having anything trivial, I think. RC Diablo Destruction, let's see. It's not that big, it's literally... Bum, 937. Very, very short. So, this first digit is obviously 9. The second one... Oh wait, it can actually be 8 as well, because it starts from 8. The order, by the way, in these brackets doesn't matter, sorry. The second one can be anyone, like any digit. The third one is also any digit. How many? A lot, but most of them are gonna be cutscenes, so we're gonna skip a lot of them real quick. Let's see. Health, RC1, RC2, RC3, RC4. Taxi, well, Taxi has a different stack. Meet 1. Okay, Meet 1 is a good one, but it's too early. 24 is literally right here, and it's... Oh, wait, hold on. It's not a trivial one, but it should work actually. Look, we're gonna jump at 824. 824 is go to this. And go to this is literally go to the code that actually passes the mission. Gamers, we have a pose-fish moment. I need a save file where Meet 1 is unlocked. I think I have one, but just in case, I'm gonna go here. This is not a trivial one, but well, whatever. So, I prepared, I have a lot of save files from speedrun.com, by the way. Thanks for, I think, Lishenko for uploading these, and I think any of these will have unlocked mission. So let's grab something important because I don't want to have any gang attention on me. Oh, well, 3 wins is gonna be good. Yeah, 3 wins, for example, why not? Oh, I don't care about which one. Let's make it 6. Oh boy. But before we actually go in game, let's see what exactly this condition is. So this is the first mission. Let's once again check the stack first of all. Check the stack. In the original game it was the same. I believe there it is. Yeah, script name. As you can see, it starts the same, so it's good for us. Now we want to see which part of the mission that is. Like here, this if command. So before that if, it creates a car, so it literally waits for us to get inside of the car. So we start the mission and then we are fine to go Diablo Destruction. Diablo Destruction is the one in Hebron Heights, right? Right. So yeah, I'm gonna change the scene in OBS, so enjoy black screen for a while. I'm gonna mute the game first because the loading screen is giga loud, and I'm gonna launch it. Yeah, Drive Misty for me unlocks it, that's right. Okay, you should see the game now, and I actually can see it myself, which is very good. I can unmute it as well. And yeah, the one close to 20 is Mafia Massacre, that's correct. Game, what was the save? Cyprian's chauffeur, yeah, whatever. Yeah, I can see that it works. Oh boy, is it gonna be a live Instapass? Oh, nice Mr. Whoopi. So, the time, time is not good. Can I kill myself? Because, well, meat missions are not available yet. Well, let's blow up our car instead. It's gonna be easier to adjust the time. Vofel playing D, let's go. Yeah, I didn't have enough time to actually go there. Oh, cool. Health icon. Yeah, that's actually, by the way, yeah, very important. If you're testing instapasses that require like dying somewhere in the middle of the mission, this is usually done for stack fixing. Always make sure that you already collected the goddamn icon, because it's technically another script, and if you pick it up, it's gonna crash. Wrong time, man, she. Okay, now it's almost fine. We're gonna have to wait a minute. But it's okay, I can wait. Yeah, same thing with the icon for police station tutorial. Okay, obviously I'm not gonna like dupe anything properly, and I'm just gonna launch a cheat engine real quick. I'm not gonna show it to you, but I'm gonna use it. Okay. I think I can also kind of speed it up. The game, I mean. Let me see. Enable speed hack. Can I? Speed 10 times. Oh boy, let's go. Let's look down. So, cheat engine is very useful for testing stuff. Okay, let's make it back 1. But if you're just starting out, don't bother. The Crook, the first mission. So, reminder, it spawns the car and it waits for us to get in, but instead we are gonna go to the RC mission, and of course, I'm gonna do a little bit of magic. See how I'm on mission 1? Well, not anymore. How did he do it? I don't know. He's cheating. Yeah, I use cheat engine in my speedruns all the time, because it allows me to get better times, and I encourage you to do the same. Yeah, pose fish gamers. Also, yeah, rain in Definitive Edition, that's what I like. This shouldn't crash, even though I don't have the model loaded, I'm pretty sure, but let's see. Maybe it will. I'm just gonna get in and see what... Oh wait, hold on, before we do anything. Stats. Percentage 4, mission passed 7. Press R to detonate home. Who did this? Well, how do I get out now? Cannot get out, but anyway. Stats 5, 8. Boy, I did it. We found an Instapass. An Instapass that I did not prefer beforehand. Well, and I did it in time as well. Holy frog, on GTA Marathon live. Ask me anything, I'm a legend. This is first time ever, let's go. By the way, since we still have time, let me show you another Instapass. I'm pretty sure you can get out if you like have lower FPS, if you just hold the button or maybe if you spam it. But that's an Instapass that you can use. Let's go! Now find another. No, I'm just gonna show you the one that I found as a backup. Sub 130, yeah. Pace Pals, Believers, we won, even though there was no prediction. And it was actually, I think it was not 50-50, and I would say it was more like 65 to 35, and 65 in favor of me not finding an Instapass, to be fair. Because it's really hard to find an Instapass, and I knew that people voted for long-ass missions, and these, well, I already explained, are very hard to find an Instapass for. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start bait. Finally some Gamba points. Yeah. So I'm gonna start bait. Where's my car? Once again, as you can see, I'm on mission 1. But let me do this a little bit of magic. And we're gonna do that. Oh, hold on, I'm on mission 0 now? How come? Interesting. Not sure. We're gonna go right here. Right here, gamers. So this is a phone mission. It'll be a little bit tricky. You need to activate it, but get out of the marker, just like in the original. I think I did it. And this is a Genka Roundup Instapass. It doesn't really like say that you passed a mission, or if you like, you don't really get money, you don't get the music. But if you look here in stats, you see it's 30 and percentage is 20, and if I load the same save file back, it's gonna be less. But I'm pretty sure this Instapass leaves an instance, so I'm not sure if it's actually usable, and I'm not sure if you can start Kingdom Come after it. Yeah, 19 and only 30. So yeah, that was my backup Instapass. That is technically an Instapass, but I'm not sure if it's usable. Ooh. This one, the one that I just showed? Okay, sure. Let's go back to this, I guess. Well, I don't really need the game anymore, so let me close it. Let's go back to here. Well, let's look for the logic. So it was Genka Roundup, right? Gang, I think it's like that. Is it? Yeah. Genka Roundup. So I knew this mission is quite short, because phone missions mostly are short. So I went here. Same thing, player made progress. So here it is, my upper bound. Here is my lower bound. This is my range for this. Then we go wait. First digit is always 1. The second digit, as you can see, can be either 5 or 6. Third one and the fourth one can be any. So same stuff. We count, we have a lot of matches. And let's clone. And let's go like, well, we know it's bait, so it's somewhere over here. It's right here, yeah. Asuka B1 is bait, and this has model loaded. This is definitely not it, and this is not it either. Model loaded, and here it is, the main loop. It looks for us to kill all of the enemies in the mission, like 12 enemies you have, 3 cars, and each car has 4 enemies. And here's my wait command, and it starts from like 1648. So here we start just before the player made progress. So this is an instapass that you can use only in Honda. For all missions, this is not usable because we skip register mission passed, unfortunately. So this one is probably not so cool. Then I don't think it is faster to do it that way, but it is an instapass, and I know that people are documenting all of the instapasses even if they are literally useless. So this is it. Ignore all the garbage after the progress. Wow. Yeah, that's true. that's kilo. But yeah, so what I did, I checked, and yeah, I then went to the game, and I knew that you have to be out of the marker because I remember how the OG game works, and I just did it. And it didn't crash, and it increased the percentage counter, which is exactly what we wanted. Alright, like, okay, so since we are kind of done, like, let's go 2 missions for any questions. I missed the beginning of the showcase. How soon will the VOD of this be uploaded so I can start looking for instapasses? I think it's rather quick. Like on Twitch it's almost instantly with like VODs, and on YouTube it's gonna be like maybe next week, maybe the week after that, I don't know. So yeah, if you missed something in the beginning, yeah, surely you can easily rewatch it. Okay, close that, we don't really need that. Alright, while you're coming up with questions right now, I want to tell you, like, if you have any other questions, or maybe if you're watching this like as a VOD or is a YouTube video and you got any questions, just go to the speedrunning server and ask questions there. There are a lot of talented people, like I'm not the only one who looks for instapasses and who understands this stuff. So if you get stuck at something, maybe you found an instapass and for some reason it doesn't work in game and you want to understand why, then just ask. There are a lot of people who can help you, including myself, Powdinit, Patrick, Nick, and honestly shoutouts to all of the code monkeys. When I just started, I didn't understand anything. I literally watched Patrick's explanation video and I said, okay, this is obviously not for me. I don't understand anything. But then I was like very curious and I wanted to find something useful for LCS Honda. So like after 2 years, I decided to come back and I rewatched the video and I actually started trying. I also had my pacifist playthrough going and it also helped me a lot there. So I was asking a lot of questions. They might seem like dumb or silly at first, but honestly, people don't care. They will help you anyway. So don't be afraid of asking questions. In LCS, I believe weight 0 is actually 3 bytes, by the way, but that's a little bit irrelevant. Okay, I don't see any other questions, so let me quickly go back to the end, I guess. I have a few more slides on the presentation, and yeah, sorry, but this is gonna be a little plug time, shameless plug time, and I honestly asked if that's okay, and they said it is. So one of the things that why I decided to come up with this category for this marathon was because I wanted to get some feedback. So please, if you don't mind, send some feedback in Discord DMs or maybe here in the chat somewhere so I can read it, because I want to make a video out of it explaining how duping and instapasses works, like with more visuals and stuff, and I want to understand which parts were clear and which parts were unclear so I can improve on those. Maybe some explanations were weak, you know, I really need that feedback. So thank you all for watching, first of all, and hopefully I can get some decent commentaries back. It's very important to me. And as I said, I have like YouTube series where I explain how stuff works, like from the, you know, code perspective. And as I said, I visualize stuff, I show it in game, etc. And I really believe you don't really need to know anything to watch these videos. Right now 7 videos are already done. They're, as you can see, both in Russian and in English. And for example, I explained how dupe and fail works in GTA 3 and other games, like some silly mistakes that developers made and that led to crazy stuff. I also explained how skipping missions in San Andreas work with duping and stuff. The next video is also going to be San Andreas. I'm going to explain how the zero-star glitch works in San Andreas, because it's a very important glitch for any percent. And I want to say it's coming soon, but I'm quite busy IRL right now, so it's definitely gonna be the next episode, but I don't want to promise when I'm gonna release it. But yeah, it's gonna be the next ones, some time after that, instapasses and duping, and some other topics. Like, I always create a poll, so you viewers actually vote for the stuff you want to see next. I have no weight in these polls. I do them unbiased, and they are all on YouTube. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, or maybe you don't know if you're interested or not, give any of these videos a try. You can see the link at the bottom. Maybe you like it, maybe you won't, I don't know, but give them a try, who knows. I think putting video of a demonstration of an already found Instapass would be helpful as the beginning of the explanation. Yeah, definitely, I'm gonna show something, like how it looks, so people who are not familiar with Instapasses will understand what we're going to talk about. That's a great point, thank you very much. Any other things? You have 6 minutes to explain VCS, paramedic, and Instapass. No, we're not talking about VCS on this series. Alright, I don't see any questions. If you don't have any of them, I guess I have like one little thing to show you at the very end. Well, not show you, actually tell you, but well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna hack some stuff, so don't really mind me. So yeah, thank you everyone for watching this video. Well, not video, stream. It was very interesting and definitely a new experience for me. I tried my best. I hope you understood what I was talking about, because, well, I really tried to come up with some easy analogies. Once again, if something is unclear and you have any other questions, feel free to ask me in Discord DMs or wherever you can find me. I'll try to explain everything to you once again. If you want to look for instapasses, once again, do it. It's not that hard, as you can see, at least trivial ones. Maybe if you like this kind of streams, we can do more, like I can explain what is a wrong stack, how to fix a stack, and other stuff that you need for more advanced instapasses, I guess. I can do it, for example, on my own channel, maybe even if Miss GTAMarathon is going, like, maybe she will let me do it here sometime later, I don't know. But yeah, who knows. Pre-recorded video, I knew it. No, it's actually not pre-recorded, but that's definitely not made by me. Vofel explains stuff to chat. Is this ending message for me to decode? No, that's random stuff. Stack once is very good. Yeah, if you're interested in that kind of stuff, just let me know somewhere so we can find a date, a time, and then we can sit and talk a little bit more about it. And hopefully not at 4 AM, because man, I need to wake up in like 6 hours. God damn it. I hope you liked it. Please, did you like it? Did you understand it? Where did I find the local offset adder tool? Patrick made it. I also made it for LCS, but I believe it works for any game, but I lost my code, so we're using Patrick's one. Custom variables.ini was also generated by me. I wrote the tool, but only for GTA 3. Unfortunately, if you want to look for VCD or SandResD, you're gonna have some weird variable names, or maybe no variable names at all, I'm not sure. But yeah, as I said, you better start with GTA 3, is gonna be easier. Yo, yeah, you're in time. So your YouTube's all done, but I thought your name was Vofel. Yeah, it's a long story. A boring one as well. You can call me the way you want. You can call me Zaza691, you can call me just Zaza. That's what most people do, apart from English ban, apparently. You can also call me Vofel, I don't mind. Like, anything works. You can call me the LCS Honda guy. Some people in the past called me LCS God, because I have a lot of videos about LCS and special vehicles and stuff, not only speedrunning. But yes, that's all irrelevant, sorry. Yeah, some people call me Za, like iguana, so it's okay. Yes, the link collection is broken. If it is broken, I'm gonna fix it because, well, oh yeah, it's not broken. I guess you're not on the server. Yeah, I'm gonna repost it on the correct server and replace the link. Thank you. That's very helpful feedback. All right, I think this is everything. I don't see any other questions. Let me quickly check. I see 2 DMs in Discord, and maybe those are from spam. Okay, cool. No questions in Discord either. What am I looking at? I'm just hacking Pentagon, don't worry about it. Coding turns any man rich. Yeah, this is a like program called Hollywood to make this Hollywood in quotes effects. Just fancy stuff to show off, and I thought it's gonna be appropriate for that. Okay, I guess this is it. You can cut me off and I can go to sleep.